Netflix's Yasuke disappoints me every time I think about it. I didn't know about Yasuke at all until the anime was announced, but the potential was massive. A story about a real-life slave becoming a samurai during feudal Japan. Lakeith Stanfield playing Yasuke, who's a great actor, who also played Darius in Atlanta.
Well, no, they say that, but ain't nobody seen the body since the funeral.
That's how funerals work. Alfred.
Studio Mappa animating the show, who worked on JJK, Vinland Saga, Chainsaw Man, Dororo, and the final season of Attack on Titan. Flying Lotus composed the soundtrack with Thundercats for the main theme, which I absolutely love. So what went wrong? It was the writing. The writing was really bad. I was so excited when the anime was announced, and when the trailer came out, my excitement turned to disgust.
Awards those who have proven themselves. And what do they call you, the samurai that was once a servant?
Yasuke.
You have my respect.
Yasuke is not one of us. Our people will not accept him.
I've seen many illnesses, but nothing like this.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Where is the child?
I will make the girl's power my own.
Yeah. I gotta cut the shit the off.
Why are there robots in feudal Japan? Why are they using magic in a show about historical figures? Before I bash this cinematic masterpiece, I'll say what I actually like. I really don't have a lot of positive thoughts about this show, but I want to praise it where it is due, and the people who animated this show obviously doesn't deserve to get hated on, as animators are usually treated poorly. I will say the first 2 episodes are actually pretty decent, and that decent has an asterisk on it, as it is fine compared to the rest of the show, as we get a lot of flashbacks where the show is at its best. No mechs, no magic, just cool swordplay, and a lot of the fights are good unless it's just straight up magic. The animation isn't terrible either, as I was never taken out of immersion with wonky animation or bad sound effects. I think my favorite part is the music, as the Flying Lotus and Thundercats absolutely killed it. I don't think I skipped the opening once. I also kinda like the robot character Haruto. He's one of the few side characters' names I remember.
He's black.
We can see that.
I thought you were the only black man in Japan.
Apparently not.
Are you two related?
Shut up, scrap metal.
Alright, let's talk about everything else that I hate. As someone who reads and watches a lot of anime, I'm used to seeing magic and mechs in time periods or places where it shouldn't exist. Let's look at One Piece for example. The main character is made of rubber, and there's a talking raccoon.
Hey! Who are you calling raccoon? I'm a reindeer, jerk!
I mean reindeer, a cyborg, and a literal skeleton as his crewmates. And it absolutely works, as the world of One Piece is so bizarre and fantastical, you will just come to accept it. So why doesn't Yasuke work when it has the same stuff? It's because the writing absolutely sucks and the world isn't fleshed out at all. And we will get into that later, but this is a story about a real life person, and I, including other people, thought it was going to be a samurai story like Samurai Champloo, where it's based in realism, but they still have wacky hijinks. The writing is so bad that there are already plot holes in the first episode. For example, Yasuke was a right-hand man to Oda Nobunaga, as the beginning of the show shows his forces getting destroyed by a super evil force. Oda commits seppuku and Yasuke begrudgingly cuts his head off to finish the job. Yasuke goes into hiding and 20 years pass as Yasuke changes his name to Yasan and is now a fisherman slash boatsman in Japan. But this kid for some reason uses a wooden sword to beat Yasuke because he wants to be a great warrior someday, and he's asking him questions like,
how do you grow your hair like that? Where do you come from? How did you get here? Who taught you how to fight? Can they teach me? Can you teach me? I want to fight in battles, like the great samurai warriors before me. I will succeed where they failed and defeat the daimyo.
How does he know Yasuke is a fighter? If this kid knows who Yasuke is, why doesn't the daimyo come after him? How come the rest of the village doesn't know who he is? He's the only black man in Japan. I feel like news would travel pretty fast about a man that is much taller than most people in Japan and a different skin color.
See that.
I thought you were the only black man in Japan.
Apparently not.
Just a few lines from the show and I have so many more questions now, and this is just from the first episode and it only gets worse. Later, the boy hangs out with his friend who is very sick and decides to ask Yasuke to bring her and her mother to a doctor. Yasuke does not want to go, saying the North is too dangerous as he lost his will to fight.
I said it's too dangerous.
We get a flashback to when Yasuke first arrives in Japan, as he is a slave to a merchant in this, and the merchant is showing clothes to Nobunaga. In the same area, a soldier is about to kill a child for telling the soldier he has no honor. And why does he tell the soldier that? We have no damn clue. But they bring up honor a lot in the show. It just reminds me of that Pro ZD skit.
Much honorable hellos. I am very honored to be a true samurai. Ah, my ancestors truly smile upon me honorably in my honor. Ah, the Asian character. Yeah, yes, Ohio goes up.
Hey, boy, you tell me I have no honor? You will pay for your insolence.
You have no honor!
What you did was honorable in its own right. Her.
It's honorable.
Murderer, he has honor!
Yasuke stops the man from killing the child by fighting him, and I mostly like this scene as it shows what kind of person Yasuke used to be. Back to the present, the mother and the child are about to leave for the journey, but Yasuke changes his mind and decides to help. On the boat ride, the mother asks what made him change his mind. Yasuke says that
One village.
What does that mean?
Where I'm from, every man and woman cares for every child. It is our duty to make sure every child is safe.
conversation is interrupted by 4 assassins who I call the JoJo character, a werebear, cleavage lady, and a Haruto the robot. So seriously, the guy calls out a stand. Araki, you might want to get on that. As Yasuke is fighting, then the mom joins and gets killed in like 10 seconds.
Hey, yo, the pizza here. Oh, nigga.
Also, that's kind of weird that the robot is able to stand in water without messing him up.
That's suspicious.
But then the girl gets angry and uses powers she didn't know, separating everyone. The second episode begins with a flashback with Nobunaga explaining how they got the mechs, and he describes it in like 1 or 2 sentences.
Our armor mechs were the Mongols' advantage. It's how they conquered the Japanese settlements of Tsushima and Iki Islands. After we defeated them, we took this technological advancement for ourselves to strengthen our borders.
So we get about the mechs, and what borders? We don't get to see any borders in the whole show. But anyways, later we are shown that some people don't like that Yasuke and a woman were made samurais. I guess it's too woke for them. By the way, I wrote this joke a month before the whole Assassin's Creed controversy. Back to the present as we see the assassins talking to the client, and the bear lady tracks him and the girl down with her smelling powers.
There's something else. He was here. The boatsman.
And Yasuke already gives up on the mission as the mother was the only one who knew where the doctor was. Yasuke makes the girl cry and run away, telling her that her mother is dead.
I'm sorry if my complicated life is an inconvenience to your perfect existence.
Cindy. Send.
Leaving him back at the bar, he gets confronted by the assassins and the client, who turns out to be a priest. I actually kind of like the priest, as he is one of the few that seems to be a character. Again, that comes with another asterisk at the end of it. But he has a twisted view of Christianity, as he believes that he is spreading peace when he is killing and torturing innocent people.
Business brings me to Japan, as I assume it did you. I am a servant of the church, sent here on a grave mission to save the people. We have a prophecy that a special child will one day come, and with my guidance, the child will help me bring peace and order to my land.
To lead his people?
Yes.
Yet the idea of servanthood itself is to submit and support.
One must serve before he can lead. That is the natural progression of things.
Never lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord.
Romans 12:11.
But it turns out that the mother was actually just a caretaker to look after while the girl was sick, but ran away with the girl.
I found her, but she was sick. She needed a woman to take care of her. But one day, that woman, whom I trusted, became a thief in the night and stole the child from me.
The priest sent the assassins after him in the bar, but the priest wants him alive.
In payback for breaking my nose!
Wait a second, that JoJo's character sounds familiar. Oh god, why?
No more running for me, dog. Reaper's finally calling my name.
What are you saying? It's okay. I'll fight with you.
David.
Made up my mind. Got your back.
Boss wants him alive, right?
So the robot freaking throws him hard as hell. And I don't know what kind of stun mode this robot has, but this is not stun mode.
Initiating stun mode.
So remember when the robot was halfway in the water the episode before? He gets a small vase of water on his arm and causes him to completely short circuit.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Writers can't even follow their own rules. Anyways, Yasuke gets captured. Next episode starts with Yasuke getting carried by the assassins, and the robot makes a little joke.
You think he's dead?
I think you're only carrying 35.62% of his weight. Pick it up. Teamwork makes the dream a slightly greater statistical probability.
Someone really ought to rewire those circuits for you.
And the bear lady says like the most confusing statement. Like,
these are professionals. They want to kill each other at the slightest provocation. Like little children.
When has this happened? I'm so confused with this, because I thought she was gonna call them childish. They haven't even threatened each other once. Their problem, and we're not even a minute into the third episode. Yasuke gets taken to the center of the village where the priest says that Yasuke killed the mother, that he has proof, and he just shows the necklace that she wears all the time. How is that actual proof? Also, you've known this man for 20 years and you just believe that Yasan killed this woman randomly? Yasuke doesn't even fight back or say that's not true. If he was knocked out, the scene would have been better, honestly.
Did you leave here?
Anyways, Bear Lady and Robot get sent to chase after the girl, and it actually might be as bad as that one chase scene from Kenobi.
Oh no!
Yasuke is interrogated anyways for the girl to see where she is. It really doesn't make any sense, but sure, why not ask a man where she is when your assassins are already chasing her? By the way, I haven't mentioned in the flashbacks that there is a woman samurai that Yasuke gets closer to, and in the third episode it is revealed that she is a spy for the Iga clan. You wanna know how Yasuke realizes this? Because she wears a freaking Iga clan necklace constantly. You would have to be so stupid to be going into enemy territory wearing your clan logo right on your neck. She doesn't even hide it.
It's nothing. The seal from my family crest. given to me by my mother and her mother before her.
It's honorable. The past informs our future. It shows who we are.
That pendant you wear. I saw another with the same symbol on the neck of the eager general I killed.
Why are you fucking with me? Why are you fucking with me? Why are you fucking with me? Huh? Get the fuck back to work!
The IQ of this woman is so low, she was still surprised that Yasuke realized it. Anyways, Yasuke tricks her into ambushing her own clan. When Yasuke kills her, she tells him that she actually did like him. That messes him up so bad, he still thinks of her 20 years later. Anyways, back to the present, and the assassins find the girl again, but the girl easily beats them this time and suddenly wants to confront the preacher.
Where is the preacher?
What is the reason? Could easily fix this by having one of the assassins say, I bet the boatsman is probably dead by now. Shows that she cares about Yasuke. Anyways, she shows up to where the priest is and fights him. Also, the priest can shoot electricity out of his body like he's freaking Palpatine. And he says he wants to use her to control her, but this girl should be freaking dead. She gets lit up like she's on the electric chair. By the way, Yasuke gets beaten up so badly, but manages to break out of his chains to save the girl. Anyways, the priest gets killed. The assassins don't get their money, so they just leave.
So no.
And the girl and Yasuke go home. But at least the show is finally over.
So, a new power arises. Like a brilliant gold flame.
Hold up, there's 3 more episodes? And they're even worse?
Make it stop!
In the next episode, we get the introduction of an even worse villain, who just looks like an off-brand Zelda villain, as she feels the girl's powers and wants to siphon the girl's energy so she can live for another 100 years. So the villain sends her minions to bring the girl to her.
It may instead be my salvation. You will find the source of this power and bring them to me. My lady, I will not fail you. No, you will not. I intend to ensure.
Yasuke wants to take the girl somewhere else since the village knows of her power. The daimyo will be after them, and they agree that they will go to the doctor together, who Yasuke knew in episode 1, who has the same powers as the girl and can train her how to use them. So we get a scene of the daimyo at the village where Yasuke and the girl lived, and they ask where the girl is, but in the next scene they teleport to a different village ahead of Yasuke and the girl.
Life, go!
Her fate is in your hands.
Speak!
Anyways, they fight the bad lady, kill her, and in the next 2 minutes they arrive at their destination. Even though they said in the first episode and this episode it would take a whole week for them to travel by land.
How long is the journey?
A week on foot.
Yasan could get you there in a day or 2.
The Black Boatsman?
Yes.
So it would take a whole week for them to travel by land. It took them 12 minutes to travel for a whole week, and that one fight is their only departure. When I first watched this, I was expecting some fun adventures, but the story is too serious. The story is so rushed that characters develop off screen. Like the main girl with powers has gotten so strong off screen that she is already better than the master she was sent to be trained by.
Where is the priest?
don't get to see her train herself using her powers or making mistakes or struggle with them as she adapts very easily, and it makes it boring because they basically call her the chosen one in a story about Yasuke the samurai.
You guys have officially made me lose my marbles!
Also, there are good chosen one stories. Just go watch Star Wars or Avatar The Last Airbender. Yasuke does not want to stay as he wants to remain as a boatsman, even though earlier before the journey he cuts his hair back when he looked like a samurai.
Ready. You have an actual face. It looks weird.
And usually in films, haircuts are usually shown as new beginnings or a change of character, as it can be a physical representation of letting go of something. One of my favorite examples of this is from season 2 of The Walking Dead. People who have watched the show will definitely remember when Shane cuts off all his hair. As when he does this, he stops trying to appease people and does what he thinks is right, even though it's definitely wrong.
All they do, they kill. These things right here, they're the things that killed Amy. They killed Otis. They gotta kill all of us unless we do that. Hey, Herschel, man, let me ask you something. Could a living, breathing person, could they walk away from this? Stop 3 rounds in the chest. Because someone who's alive could...
Anyways, as Yasuke is leaving, the Daimyo are charging the base and he decides to finally fight back.
Second to last.
Daimyo have surrounded the school as Yasuke wants to fight them and trick the Dark General into getting flanked. And the evil Zelda lady is using the Dark General as a conduit to mess with the girl on the astral plane. So
she must be using the Dark General as a conduit to connect to her mind.
Maurice agrees to go to the astral plane to help her. I gotta say, I've seen a good amount of astral planes in media, and this is certainly the ugliest one yet.
This is the most obnoxious thing I've ever experienced in my life.
It hurts my eyes to look at it, and the characters are super bright blue. We get the most tensionless fight as the evil Zelda lady shoots lasers at Maurice while blocking it for a few minutes. The girl is able to escape, and somehow she blows up the Dark General, and they don't even explain it. Like, she just touches the General while out of her body, and that makes him blow up and takes his powers away. Also, the assassins show up to help fight and they say the girl talked in their heads by bribing them. Is that how the astral plane works? Does she have telepathy as well as telekinesis while being a master at telekinesis within a week of discovering her powers? People hate on Rei for learning and mastering the force really fast, but this girl is definitely the definition of a Mary Sue. Anyways, this part cracked me up. After this, we get a bonding moment where Cleavage Lady admits to enjoying her time with the robot, and then she gets killed immediately after, and they try to make us feel sad, and it doesn't work.
My friend, everyone is dead. We killed them. What am I doing again if you ask me?
Friend is a word used to describe someone you're happy to spend time with.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I enjoy killing people with you. I guess that makes us friends.
Yes, friends.
Okay, you're malfunctioning again. It's fine, we all have our problems.
Please keep vocal targets incoming and fast.
Where?
It should be here right now. Now. Do you see anything yet? Ishikawa.
What's going on over there? Ishikawa?
Friend, sensors indicate that you are dead. Is this a malfunction, Ishikawa?
Because we haven't gotten any time learning about them at all. I do not know a single thing about Cleavage Lady or the rest of the assassins, and this is the second to last episode. What's even funnier is that the robot is so distraught when Cleavage Lady gets killed that they sacrifice themselves by flying into a large group of enemies and self-destructing. They really thought we were going to cry over a woman with little to no screen time and a robot with a little more screen time.
Self-destruct sequence activated in 10, 9, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye, friend.
It's even funnier that the robot's destruction was so big that it sent shockwaves, but it does absolutely no damage, like it doesn't even stop their tracks for a few minutes. Anyways, Yasuke and the rest run to the next hideout, but the Russian bear lady has decided to hold the enemy back and says,
"Let's see how many of you I kill."
It cuts away for 10 seconds for no reason, and then she gets killed in a way that I cannot show on here.
God, I thought this was a classy party.
Also, she doesn't kill anyone on screen, and I'm not counting it because they were too lazy to animate a 20-second fight scene. If you're gonna have a character that can turn into a bear, then I better see them ripping and tearing. Also, it kind of looks like they're dancing right here.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
After that, Yasuke and the girl decide to go after the discount Zelda villain, and that's where the 5th episode ends. The last episode starts with a line that reminds me of the show's biggest problem.
I fear your hope for remittance rests entirely on Saki now, and her protector.
I mean, the main character of the show that has been sidelined by Jean Grey? The show is called Yasuke, yet he's in the background for the second half of the show. I would maybe excuse this if the girl character was actually interesting, had unique character flaws, or a great personality. I think that goes for every character in the show except maybe for Yasuke, and even that's pushing it. Right after she gets control of her powers in the 3rd episode, she becomes super arrogant and even says she does not need Yasuke to complete her journey.
You haven't noticed, I have, like, crazy mind superpowers. I don't need anyone to protect me.
Then why did you insist that I travel with you?
So I wouldn't be alone.
She reminds me of Korra because of how arrogant she was, but it was used to show us that Korra can't just use bending to solve her problems. Also, it took Korra over a decade to master 3 of the elements, where it only took a week and like 2 days to become the strongest telepath and telekinetic. He's on the way to the bad guy. The Daimyo are in the way, so Yasuke and the girl have the dumbest plan ever, and I'm just gonna play it because of how stupid it is.
How does that work? Where does that exactly come from? It doesn't make any sense.
Make it stop!
It doesn't make sense. Life doesn't make sense. No road,
Damn it, Wade!
Anyways, when Yasuke and the girl make it to the castle, the Daimyo tricks Yasuke into believing that Daimyo is Nobunaga, that the girl is the Daimyo, so Yasuke is trying to kill the girl. But she's wearing the necklace that her mother wore, so he realizes that he's being tricked and attacks the Daimyo instead. Finally, with the last 15 minutes of the show, he realizes that he needs to fight together with the girl.
Neither of us is strong enough to beat her.
What do we do, Yasan?
We beat her together.
As the Daimyo is about to kill the girl, Yasuke sacrifices himself to save her. And the girl turns into a butterfly and then touches the Daimyo, and then they just explode? And yet again, we get another weird ass line.
So this is how it feels. Change.
What does that even mean? I'm gonna get one of the worst tropes ever. I absolutely hate this when a character dies and the magic character's tears drop on their dead friend and it somehow brings them back to life. Daimyo is still alive but can't fight anymore and just says some edgy stuff, and the girl replies with the funniest line.
I'm not like you. I have friends.
Anyways, Yasuke and the girl head back to the village and the girl is accepted. Wouldn't it make more sense for her to train her powers even more at that school? I give this anime a 3 out of 10 as it's not even funny bad. It has like nothing redeemable about it except for the music, which kudos to them. So yeah, the show is not good, like at all. The only character I think I liked was Haruto the robot, as he was the only character that made me laugh, like a little. All of the characters were written very badly, as very little of them were written with more than one personality. Like, can I have some character moments, please? I cannot tell you a single person's character trait or their motivation for why they're doing this. Like, what does a robot need money for? Matter of fact, let's go over all of the character traits in the show. think the preacher could have been interesting as the main antagonist, as he was using his religion to control this girl, and I think it would have been cool if he took the girl. Yasuke had to follow them across the world and decide to become a samurai again, and maybe he comes across his family and has to decide whether he should stay or complete the mission. I'm just spitballing here, and I'm making more interesting ideas than the creator. Yasuke completely fails at everything in my opinion, and now that I think about it, the animation is very generic as well, and it doesn't have any style like Fooly Cooly or the newer episodes of One Piece. I think that perfectly describes this show. Generic. The show copies basically everything from the most popular shows and then regurgitates out their version. World building is terrible as well. Like, history is basically the same, but there's robots and magic. Reminds me of another Netflix project, Bright, where other species and magic existed in our world like orcs and elves, but slavery in the Alamo still happened. So I forgot to mention that he was obsessed with that woman spy he killed even 20 years after. Like, oh my god, get some hobbies or something.
Not all.
I don't know why they chose 20 years, because what do you mean you did nothing for 20 whole years? Like, if it was just 1 year, that would have been fine. Anyways, to conclude, if you want to watch an actual good anime about a black samurai that has one less episode than Yasuke, then you should just watch Afro Samurai.
Unfortunate that you had to see this, boy. This moment will always haunt you. You will be consumed by hatred for me. Challenge me when you're ready to duel a god.
You to burn, bleed, suffer, as I have.
She's dead, and you chose revenge over our master, over everyone. We're your family. Why? What about us? What about us? I treated you as my brother. I will never forgive you.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, as I will not only be reviewing what I hate, as I do not want to come across as cynical or hateful to all media. I also want to review stuff what I have strong opinions about. I think my next review is going to be Fallout Season 1, which I'm very excited to watch again. I have to say my inspiration for making this channel is Cosmonaut Variety Hour and Video Game Donkey. If you found any technical problems with my videos, please let me know, as this is my first video and I want to get better at this stuff. And please like and subscribe so I can make this a full-time thing. Peace.